so welcome to the floor meeting. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Agenda is packed. But first, we need to start talking about some of the community agreements that we're going to discuss this year. Because I know we had some problems last year, and a lot of you are returners, so we need to think about how we are going to counteract those problems that we encountered last year. So what kind of things do you think that we might encounter, that we might need to think about?
I know last year I had a really big problem with one of the residents on the floor who was always loud, and I could never sleep and I could never study. It was terrible.
Crazy party! Yo, how you doing, baby?
Hey! Wow! Party time! Get done! Yeah! Party! We want it! Yeah! Party!
Okay, so now that we got that noise issue taken care of, which is very important, we got to think about security on the floor. Because remember, community agreements are all about accepting personal responsibility as well as responsibility for our community. So, how are we going to work through this? What are we going to do? Yeah, you got an idea?
Last semester when I was going to take a shower, I saw a weird creeper on my floor and I didn't recognize him. Who the hell are you?
It doesn't matter. I don't live here.
And what did you do?
I approached him and I asked him, and he didn't belong to the floor, so I told him to leave.
Okay, so I know we've had a lot of problems with this lounge area. It is really great to have this space available for everyone to study and work in, but sometimes people get down here and they're a little rowdy and get a little loud, and it's supposed to be primarily for educational use, studying and whatnot. But some people have been down here, and some of you have, been a little loud, a little rowdy sometimes. So we need to think of positive ways without criticizing people, how we can work through this. So anybody have any ideas how we can get that started?
Well, first I want to talk about something that happened last year. I really like studying because I'm a great student, 4.0 all the way. Last year I was in here studying around 7:30 p.m. I know it's not quiet hours, but it was 7:30. They need to be courteous. Some people came in here playing cards, being loud, pissing me off. You know what I did?
What did you do?
I said, you need to go.
Who's big line? Not me.
Man, I'm not putting it in, dude.
Not this one.
It's up to you, Lenny. Come on.
You know what's really good? It's slacking off. Not doing anything productive.
Oh, how you like that?
Oh, man, that's a good one.
Oh, man.
I beat that
Excuse me,
one.
could you guys please be quiet?
Gambling is so
Just a little
good.
bit.
Oh, again. Go! Come on. Bring it.
What you trying to do over there?
I'm trying to study.
Study this! Oh! You're
What are you guys doing at 7:30? I got a final tomorrow. I'm telling the CA.
We're just gonna chill out, man. Come on, man. Just having fun.
And they didn't leave.
So what did you do? How'd that make you feel?
It made me feel like crap, and I got an F on my test.
Okay, so we've got a lot of issues taken care of so far, but one that we really need to think about is accountability, because everyone needs to be accountable for their actions. No one's actions should infringe on anyone else's freedoms or anything else on the floor, so we need to think about this, especially in regards to damages, because that's when we have responsibility and whatnot, and that's when charges can come into play. So, any ideas on this? What can we do? Yes?
Well, now that you mention it, it was a normal Tuesday night. I was coming back from the library, and there was a pro wrestling match in the lounge. All no holds barred, hardcore, and things were broken. People were broken. It was not pretty.
I'm the champion!
Let's get ready to rumble!
Jose! 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 Finish him!
So we're getting through this. I think we might be through this meeting in less than an hour. I know it's incredible for me because I'm long-winded and talk a lot. But anyway, it's important that we talk about roommate issues, especially when we have significant others. and partners, because sometimes those can cause nasty problems in the rooms, especially when they're not paying to stay here. Have you all heard of the roommate agreement form? I made this available for you at the beginning of the year, and hopefully you've taken a look at it. If you have any problems, we can fill this out and help facilitate those issues. But has anyone dealt with anything specifically that they would like to share that maybe we can, without any names or whatnot, and we can maybe work through that, see how we can improve upon that? Yes.
My roommate last year, her partner was there 24/7, never left, and it was just too many people in that small of a space.
Oh, that was so fun.
I know, I really like that movie.
Can't wait to do it again.
No. So what are you gonna do today?
I don't know. Maybe we can just hang out here, watch a movie.
Yeah, so they're back and they're not being quiet. I'm trying to study over here. It's not gonna be a good night of studying. I'll talk to you later. I have my clothing still, right?
Yeah.
Okay guys, the last topic area that I kind of want to cover in this whole community agreement umbrella tonight is interpersonal communication. Does anyone know what interpersonal communication is?
Oh.
So like communicating with yourself, like enter.
No. Well, it's kind of like that, except it's kind of, communicating with others within a group. So like the whole floor as a whole. So unfortunately, sometimes people are not able to communicate effectively and efficiently with one another, and that causes tension. So it's important that we think about these things. Does anyone have any examples or ideas on how we can help improve interpersonal communication between everyone on the floor? Anything? Anything? No. Okay. Well, maybe I will, get us in a time machine, get Mr. Peabody in here, get in a time machine, and we'll go back in time a little bit to my youth. When I was a resident myself, it did happen. I was a resident once, and I had an issue, okay? And there was this clique on my floor, and these people were really big bullies, and they wouldn't allow everyone else to be in their, their clique, and they had a Facebook group, and I wasn't allowed to be in it. Checking Facebook for the 15th time today. Let's see what we got here. Oh, they didn't. Didn't get an invite to the floor group. What's going on here? And they wrote some blasphemy on my wall. What the hell? So we had to create some floor standards to help get through that, some community standards.
That wasn't fair.
It wasn't
Not
fair.
fair.
It was not inclusive at
Fair.
all. Okay guys, so that's a wrap. Had a set of really great ideas. I think we're going to have a great set of community standards this year, and hopefully this will help prevent a lot of problems that we might have on the floor. And remember that you can help enforce these policies as well. It's not just my job, it's also all of yours. You have a civic responsibility to help enforcing these. And if you have any problems or questions, feel free to come see me. Alright, now I'm going to compile this list on my computer tonight, and I'll make sure I slap it on the wall in here so you can all see it. It'll be really big on some butcher paper. Alright, any questions? Yeah.
When are we going to talk about QLBs?
We'll talk about those next week. Okay? Great. All right, high five. Woo!
Yeah!
Community standards are awesome. They rock my socks.
Yeah!
Woo! Have a good night. Have a good night. Be quiet though. It's quiet hours. Shh.